The panel tonight, Keith Boykin, CNN political commentator, former Bill Clinton White House aide. Caitlin Huey-Burns is a national political reporter at Real Clear Politics. Nan Hayworth is here, former Republican member of Congress and a member of the board of directors for the Independent Women's Forum. And Evan Siegfried is a Republican strategist and the author of GOP GPS. Great to have you guys here for the same topic we talk about because it never ends. Nan, why are there so many Why are there so many apparent contradictions, conflicting statements when it comes to Team Trump and Russia? The KT McFarland stuff, she was asked about this in July. Flynn was fired back in February. This all happened. I mean, just peruse your inbox, man. Why? What? This is why the questions swirl.
Sure. And the New York Times put out a story that there was email from KT McFarland saying that she had advised Michael Flynn on what to say, but then that was essentially retracted down to there are questions about her testimony before the Senate. So I just think there's an awful lot of innuendo flying around on both sides. She clearly has to answer those questions and answer them truthfully. And she's, as you know, she's up to possibly become ambassador to Singapore.
Right, so it's not even just a, you said this in the past type of thing, like a Jeff Sessions type of situation. This is a, your nomination to be ambassador to Singapore could be held up, could be in jeopardy, because you answered with, I'm not aware of the issues you've listed above. I mean, this could become, and I think is becoming, a real thing.
Right, and Bob Corker saying that her nomination will be on delay, or confirmation will be on delay until they get more answers, certainly.
Oh, Nan, you think someone in Congress is grandstanding, huh?
No.
Keep going.
Can't believe it. But it does speak to the larger issue here of why, right? Why is this continuing to happen with different members of this administration and during the transition, which leads to the broader question of regarding Mike Flynn, regarding kind of everybody else involved, why are they not being truthful or forthcoming in these circumstances?
But we don't know that they're not being. It's just
we don't know, right? And we don't know, and that will be what they want from the. We know about Mike Flynn. With KT McFarland, they do want to figure out what her intentions were, right?
Yeah. That's fair. And that's fair to say. Overall, is this getting closer to or further away from President Trump?
It's getting closer to. What Robert Mueller is doing as a legal strategy is like taking down a mob or a drug cartel. You start with small bites from smaller fish and you get them to flip. This is classic. I've seen it in the United States justice system where U.S. attorneys do this. At the same time, we're seeing John Dowd and Ty Cobb put forth the legal strategy. And the question over President Trump's tweet saying he knew about this might, with John Dowd falling on the sword, while many lawyers who have worked with him say he's not the brightest bulb and would self-destruct and do something silly, but he has stumbled onto something legally where they're trying to cast doubt on who's authoring President Trump's tweets. Because if the tweets could be authored by other people and there's more work there and confusion, that takes away intent.
Well, but we were told by the White House that tweets were official White House policy. So whatever comes out of that Twitter feed.
But Bob Mueller would be using them as proof of what the president's mindset was at the time. And if the president isn't even writing them, then it's not his mindset. So that removes a key thing that Robert Mueller could use against the president.
What do you make of this, as I was talking about the mixed messages between Trump's personal attorney and Trump's White House legal team? I'm super confused, and it's a technical term, why this is getting debated in public. Like, I don't understand.
I think the Trump administration, the Trump campaign, everything around the Trump orbit is characterized by chaos. But
the chaos isn't it? Aren't we always told that the chaos leads to the distraction away from Russia? This chaos leads directly to the question of obstruction of justice.
I didn't say it was good chaos. I live in orchestrated chaos. I just, you know, we were talking back in the green room about the campaign. Jeff Sessions making a comment that his defense about why he didn't know about Russia was that the campaign was so chaotic I couldn't keep up with everything.
I mean,
this is not a good way to run a business or a company, and this is the way Trump has chosen to run the country. Unfortunately, we've got all these conflicting information out there. Paul Manafort connected to Ukraine. We've got Michael Flynn connected to Turkey. We've got Jared Kushner connected to Israel. Trump working for Russia. Who is working for the United States? This is supposed to be the country, the people who believe in America first, and yet they're saving everybody else except America.
On a political question, when it comes to the obstruction of justice question, Politico did put together this list of how many members of Congress are still there, Republicans, who were for believed obstruction of justice could be a president's problem back during Clinton, right? So you have 40 Republicans who are still in Congress who were pro-impeachment and pro-you obstructed justice Clinton back then, 17 sitting senators included. How do they deal with this if this comes before them now?
Well, I just want to clarify. Number one, you have to have a clear issue that there was something to obstruct, if you will. The context that we're talking about in terms of Michael Flynn, though, had to do with something that the Obama administration itself was. It's like, you guys can get in touch after the election.
Firing the FBI director is clear enough evidence.
The president's within his constitutional rights to fire the FBI director.
He tells the Russian ambassador in the Oval Office that he had to fire him for the Russia thing.
We need to hear that from Robert Mueller. What was the president's intent? But can I get to something that Nan began to interject, which is, there's a lot more about the Clintons. The whataboutism. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to this. You want to know what? Remember when O.J. Simpson's defense team came out and said, what about all the other murders that took place? Why didn't that never happen? Because it has nothing to do with this particular case.
I'm talking about Manafort. Manafort's problems have to do with his career with the Podesta Group. Okay.
No,
but that doesn't have anything to do.
Manafort's probably
the president is going out and saying, what about Hillary Clinton and what she did? That doesn't matter.
But you're talking,
the president can appoint a special prosecutor for that.
I was making a single point about Paul Manafort. He was employed by the Podesta Group.
And he was chairman of the Trump campaign and sending emails to our Russian friend to say if he's
Don't couple of months be on it. That's who you choose to be your campaign chairman. If I had someone on my staff who did something really, really gnarly and bad, they were still on my staff at some point.
Understood. But the problems Manafort's running into have to do with his work with the Podesta Group.
Well, those aren't going away. That's for sure.
Antecedent to his work with...
Antecedent this and that.